Hello, hello, and welcome back again to Metal Gear Speedrunners for the Warning Shot Summer 2021 edition. Today we have again lots of Metal Gear runs, and for run 2 of the day we have Metal Gear Solid 3 HD edition run in European Extreme with Tuxedo on. For that classic, of course, we need a special player, and that one will be ApacheSmash. Apache, take over.
Thanks very much, House. Hello, MGSR. It's good to be here. Yeah, as House said, I'm going to be running European Extreme in the Tuxedo in every single room. And I've brought along with me Days Ahead for commentary. Welcome, mate.
Hey.
And current world record holder in European Extreme, Major Zero. Sup, man?
Hello. How are you?
I'm very decent. And I'm going to start the old run in 3, 2, 1, go. So we got a load of save at the start. Tuxedo is a new game plus camo. So on the old MGSR channel, I'm sure we know that in MGS3, you have a camo index, which makes it easier or harder to be spotted by the guards. The Tuxedo is an extension category. The Tuxedo makes the run a lot harder. It's not very good camo index for majority of the rooms in the game. It prevents you from using CQC. Which makes some of the bosses more difficult. And we also have to manage our stamina. So at the start here, we have to go pick up the Tuxedo by retrieving our backpack. I think I got everything there, right? That's why it's harder.
I think so. I think you nailed it.
And as an aside, I got a new controller today, so I'm just getting used to playing with it. So any mistakes is not me, it's the controller.
And any mistakes that aren't from the controller or from the game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And for reference, it's easier to find the Holy Grail than a good PlayStation 3 controller. So this is, I would say, status quo.
Yeah, it's even harder because I use a DualShock 1 with an adapter to get rid of the pressure sensitivity. Finding a good DualShock 1 it's just like a lottery. Every single time you buy one, they're very rarely for sale box new. So you're buying used ones all the time, right? I think I'm on my 12th, so I've had a few. And here at the start, we're just going to be rolling up hills until we get the box. Snake moves faster. Not faster. He moves slower up hills, so we just use the roll to get through that. But later in the game, we'll be able to get the cardboard box, which lets us go full speed. Pretty much everywhere. We zoom around in it. It's a really good item. So the game's game over if discovered. So European Extreme is... Oh, I've missed him. There we go. If any of the guards see us, we get like half a second, and then it'll spot us, and it'll make us do the room again. So we're going to avoid getting spotted as best as possible. I am going for the highest rank, which is Foxhound, so no kills, no alerts, no continues, and no life meds. The hardest thing about European Extreme Tuxedo is the no life meds part, because the Tuxedo gives you a bad camo index during the bike chase, which means you get shot more often. The hardest thing with picking up a new controller is the free aiming parts of the game, so things like the Dolly Navadno Bridge, where you have to like go into first person and aim for the heads.
It doesn't help that you're running on empty as well, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a coffee, so we'll get through it. Alright, so in Rasviet the first time, normally in the European Extreme run, we can get a lot closer to these guards and use like third-person shots to take them out. But because our camo index is so bad, we have to be a little more cautious. There we go, he's moved. I missed one of the shots on him, so I have to wait for him to go down, otherwise he's going to spot me. A little bit of a backup here. I'm going to let this guard walk forward more, and then just trank roll him. Normally we can get to that guard and roll into him sooner, but because I lost a little bit of time on the second guard, I had to do a backup. One of my 3 shots at the start missed there. But that's one of the tougher little rooms in Tuxedo because it's so different from a normal European Extreme run. But we got out the virtuous mission. It's all good. The hardest part of the game is Snake Eater for sure. It's like the first 20 minutes of Snake Eater is like the most difficult part of the whole run. The first room with guards that we'll get to in Snake Eater is so unbelievably challenging, and I'll explain it when I get there. But it's kind of cruel that once you start messing with the game and playing in with a lower higher camo index on purpose, it's funny what rooms actually become so difficult. In a normal Euro run, the first room of Snake Eater is quite easy, but we have to do some sneaky stuff to get past the guards. I'm going to do a little trick on this cure menu. So we just do all the cuts first, and that allows us to do the broken bones together. It's a little bit faster.
The optics of Tuxedo Snake just sitting there injured on the ground. It never gets old.
That's me after I finish the run. I just lie there like that.
With the suit and everything?
Yeah. So just before we put our tuxedo on, we're going to pick up this mushroom. This mushroom is super important. Most important mushroom in the game, possibly. And that's what we're going to use to get past the guards in the room in just a moment. So for the rules of the board, you have to wear the tuxedo in every single room. But you can put it on later into the room. So that just saves a menu, because otherwise we'd have to go into the menu, put the tuxedo on, come out, pick up the mushroom, then put that on. Every single menu costs about 8 seconds, so where we can minimize those is really useful. Alright, so this room. This is the room. You have to roll, this first roll I do has to be perfect, otherwise I'll get caught. But then the room just gets harder from there as well, so call it like it's a frame perfect roll. It's not, but it kind of is. Whenever I say frame perfect, I just mean it's really, really hard. So I'm going to wait for these guards to walk forward, and there's a certain sound cue of their speech of when to throw the mushroom. I have to wait for this second guard now to turn around, and I'm going to cook a grenade to get behind this guard. So when you cook a grenade on certain terrain, it will silence your footsteps completely. That was nice. I can't express to you how hard that room is.
I think to grasp how hard these rooms really are on Tuxedo is the only way is if you have a good understanding of how far they can really see on European Extreme and how much of a difference minus 35% camo index really makes in a room. It's a big difference.
Yeah, in a normal run, I think you're on about 0% here. You're on 0 or like 5 or 10. It's not great, but it's a lot better than minus 35. Like just on that bridge there, I had to roll down it. Every time Snake rolls, it hires his camo index by 10%. So it's like just enough to not get spotted by the guards when they turn around. I'm going to go into the first boss here. Before I do, I'm going to pick up the box. As I was saying earlier, most important item in the game, so we're going to use that a ton in the run. But the Ocelot unit is the first boss of the game. It's right up there as one of the most difficult. Mainly because if you make a mistake, you have to do the whole thing again, and also have to do a menu at the start. So you lose a ton of time, and it's extremely precise. So I'm just going to shut up and do it now.
So this is Ocelot unit, like you said. First thing he's going to do is he's going to equip the box and the Mark 22, take off all this other junk because he doesn't need it, and he's going to open up with a body shot on this guard through the window, just to his southeast. It's very important that this is a body shot so he doesn't alert the wrong guards at the wrong time. From here, he's going to take out any guards that he can until those 4 assaulting guards come through the door, at which point he's going to stun grenade to take out all 4 of them. Just like that, and knock on the wall, so that way they look at the stun grenade and are more likely to be stunned. Now he's going to stand in a precise place so that he can lean past the doorway and shoot this guard on the roof. The thing is, if you're leaning in this game, guards can't actually see Snake as long as your core position is behind a wall. They won't see you as long as you're core position is the good. And from here, it's clean up. That's the hard part of the fight. You just have to take out the remaining guards. And there you go. You see another instance of him leaning around the corner, which makes the guard unable to see him. That was a really clean Ocelot unit.
Yeah, I missed the second guard, so I just had to wait. I was like, he hasn't gone down. I went for a headshot on the second guard and got a body shot, so I knew he was like still hanging around in the south. So if I'd gone too quickly, he would have seen me. I could definitely feel like the newness on this controller when I went to do the roll over the box and I picked up the mine detector. It's really subtle, but those movements to getting over that box, it has to be so precise. If you fail to get over that box with your first roll, you get caught. So it's a little bit scary.
That's a big holdup for a lot of new runners. They'll really struggle with that particular movement, because you got a lot to do. Not only do you have to take out all those guards through the windows, but then you have to do a pretty tough roll and get a stun grenade out in a pretty short amount of time. So it's a big struggle point for a lot of new runners.
If I could and like switch this to kind of a dumb question, does the interaction with the alligators change with the or any sort of wildlife change with the Tuxedo?
No, it's just the same. Like you have to, with the alligators, you have to like avoid the tail because tail swipes like take you out, but the head attack never really hits you. So it's just the same strat whether you're on Euro or Tuxedo. They're always a threat.
And then the guard dogs?
They're terrifying because of the Tuxedo camo index so low. You have to deal with a lot more dogs than you would on a normal European extreme run because they see you from so far away. I'll live this strat here. I'm just going to position myself by this fence, wait for that one guard to notice me. Once he walks off, I can take out his friend, do a little shimmy, and then roll through the gap in the fence. It's a HD collection bug that the fence won't electrocute you in the box, just that part of it. You can like run into it with the box and get like a really nice position. If you do that on PS2, it will just electrocute you immediately. This is another room where you have to be a lot more mindful of the guards. In Metal Gear Solid 3, if you shoot a guard in the head, obviously it's a lethal kill. But if you blow up some barrels that they're stood next to, it doesn't count as a kill. So we're going to use that here to take out some guards and still keep Foxhound. Later on in the game, there's opportunities to knock guards off of mountains as well, and that doesn't count as a kill either. This is another one that I'm going to have to concentrate on. Ocelot.
Yep, Ocelot. So first thing he's going to do is just shoot Ocelot in the back to stop him in his tracks, and then he's going to do a series of stun grenade throws and Mark 22 shots to stun lock Ocelot. So throw a stun grenade, which keeps him in place. One more Mark 22 shot, another stun grenade, and now he's going to shoot the Markor in the back. The purpose of this is, after he shoots Ocelot here, Ocelot, instead of shooting at Snake or running away, is going to be distracted by the Markor. You can see there he turned around, which gives Apache another opportunity to get like 4 more shots on him, I think it is.
Yeah, 4.
Oh, almost.
It's unfortunate, but...
So at the end of the fight, when he has 1 hit remaining, it's sort of random what he can do. He can run left, right, or back, and you want him to run back because then you get a really easy, clean hit on him, but he just didn't really want to cooperate there.
Yeah, we're always... I hung around in first person a little bit too long, but we're on the final shot. It can be anywhere, so it can be like a body, arm shot, whatever. So we just use the auto aim to hit him. What you'll see a lot of newer players do is try and hit him in first person, which is very difficult. You just want to let the auto aim do the work. So rather than kind of trying to chase him, I just waited for him to pick a position and then go as he comes out. Otherwise he can get some extra shots on me, and you don't want to go into the pain fight with low health, because even if you do the pain perfectly, there is still a chance that he'll hit you with at least 1 swarm attack. So my health is high enough now where I can survive 1 swarm attack, so I'm protected from the game killing me, but I'm not protected from making mistakes still.
This is like going through a Pokemon cave without Flash.
Yeah, it's not as bad on my screen. It's mostly my capture card. Like, my capture card makes it look like I'm playing blind there, but it's still pretty dark on my screen, but I know where to go. So I'm going to put the smoke grenade and grenade on here. I picked up both of those items on the way to the pane. We need both of them to fight this guy. In the past, you used to see people use the shotgun to take his shield off, but you can use grenades more effectively and it's faster. And the shotgun messes with your ammo as well, so you don't want to pick that up.
Yeah, like he said, he's going to use both smoke grenades and grenades on the pane. First thing he does is throws a smoke grenade, which hopefully disperses that swarm of bees there, and it has. That's very good. He really wants to disperse that swarm of bees, because otherwise they will absolutely rinse your health. They will attack Snake relentlessly. After that, it's going to be a series of headshots. Eventually, the pane will put up his Hornet shield, and he's going to throw a grenade to take that out. And he did, and Phase 2 is mostly the same as the ending of Phase 1. It's going to throw a grenade to take out his Hornet shield, and then do some more headshots to finish the fight. And if you're quick enough, nice, you can one-cycle him just like that. If you're just a little bit slow, it's possible for the pane to put his Hornet shield back up, and then you'd have to throw another grenade to take it down. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Something else that's noteworthy is that the pane's hitbox for his head is actually really small, and really oddly, it's in a weird place. It's sort of like from the bottom of his nose to the bottom of his chin. It's not really his whole head. So you got to be really precise with that boss, and that was some good aiming.
Yeah, it's a scary fight. It's not just that he puts the shield back on, but you can get into a situation where he starts rolling, so he'll roll like left and right. When he does that, he gets iframes. So you're trying to get his shield off, and then he keeps rolling away. And getting iframes and avoiding the grenades, and you have to like go on the different platforms to get new grenades. So the fight can really get away from you. You have to keep it under control, and I'm happy with that fight.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was textbook.
If I'm not mistaken, this whole run has seemed very clean.
So far, so good.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to jinx it. I'm like crossing my fingers about the Fury, because I understand that he's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, sometimes I just wake up in a cold sweat thinking about the Fury. It's a tough fight. The one small bonus is on normal European extreme runs now we do 1 HP Fury, so we don't cure the poison to save 7 seconds, and then we do the Fury fight with 1 health, so you can't get hit by him at all. In Tuxedo, it's not possible to leave the poison in because we have to manage our stamina. So even if I wanted to do a 1 HP Fury, which I don't, I can't do it anyway. So it means you can make more mistakes and still survive. Extremely important part of the run here. I have to make sure I damage the end. So the end is on the end of the dock in a wheelchair. He's being pushed in by the guards. You have a small opportunity there to deal some damage to him, which later in the fight will mean his stamina is a little bit lower than it would be normally. The strat we use for the end, we don't have to do it, but we can end the fight much faster if he's more damaged. And you have to shoot those barrels anyway. To do the dock quicker, you have to shoot those barrels anyway because you want to get rid of the guards.
The mountain one, not mountain. Warehouse one
no,
of the
I've messed up this room, so rather than losing Foxhound, I'm going to reset it.
That's a good call. That's a really good call. That goes into what I was about to say. You really don't want to dilly-dally in this room because Warehouse 1 can be super tricky. So what he messed up was the roll over that railing there. That roll is kind of tricky. You're not really meant to roll over it. So the way we do it is sort of like a movement bug, I guess. You can see there, he does it at like a weird angle. That's clearly not how it's meant to work. But what he does now is he bump rolls all of the guards, and then he equips the box and gets out of the range just before they would actually alert on the box. And he's just going to do that 3 times. All the way up the warehouse, and that was super clean. Nice. So what's happening there is, like I said, he equips the box so the guards see the box, but by the time they actually would alert on the box and cause game over, he's out of their line of sight. So then they just try to investigate it instead. And you have just enough time to pull that off. That was really clean.
Yeah, when you leave a room and go back, it just puts all their guard positions back to where they would normally be, so they don't continue their paths while you're not in the room. So it's just I mean, if you can save Foxhound with it, it's a good call to make.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really think there's much of a backup for that room. I guess you could, maybe, but not an efficient one. If you mess up the roll in such a way that you land, at least go over the railing, there's a backup, but I don't think you could really do much with what he'd had.
The backup would have been so much free aiming, and every single time I took like a free aim shot, it would have been another opportunity to get seen by the guards. So rather than trying to free aim everything, it was worth just trying the room again. There is a backup as long as you don't go over the railing, but it's really, really slow as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so this is one of the hardest sections of the Tuxedo run. In a normal European Extreme run, the lab is very simple because we just wear the scientist costume. We can't do that in Tuxedo, so we have to do all of it without getting caught, which means a lot more taking out of the guards. And I did learn something today for this building that I do want to try out, so new little strategy. I'm just going to do an extra buffer here, and hopefully I can get past this guard without shooting him. Nice, I learned that today. So normally I would headshot that guard for safety, but it's a little bit faster if you just roll past. And you may have seen throughout the run I've been tranking guards and then rolling into them. That just instantly knocks them out. In European Extreme, like tranks to the body take a long time to knock guards out. But if you put a trank in them and then knock them to the floor, it puts them to sleep instantly.
Another thing you might have noticed that he's doing a lot of punch kicks seemingly randomly. That's, like he said, that's a buffer to basically waste time so the guards are in a particular position. Otherwise, for example, that room that he was just in, the one with the big table in it, if he went in any sooner, he would have either just been right in front of the guard and gotten an alert, or knocked the guard over and then he would have stood up and given him an alert. Either way, would have given him an alert. So he really needed the buffer there. Make sure that guard was in a good place. Yeah,
I'm going to do a couple more here. These are really important. This next room has to be perfect, otherwise you're going to get seen instantly. Oh crap, yeah. I got caught. That might be super bad. No, we're good. We're good.
Oh, nice. Okay. That was scary. To give you any sense... Go ahead.
Because of the nature of this run, like, once something goes wrong, I'm constantly on the edge of being caught, so you'll hear how nervous I get, because I think I'm about to get... Oh, there we go. Don't put that box on and then roll. You can only do one or the other. So when you travel into rooms before you get control, if you're in the box, you go a little bit further. So I'm just going to do this normally now.
Rip.
Rip.
F in the chat.
To give you a sense of just how hard Disguiseless Lab is, like Apache said when he first came in, we don't do this in regular Foxhound, in regular European Extreme runs. We just don't. It's off the table, out of the realm of possibility. It is so extremely difficult. We just slap on the scientist outfit and call it a day.
Yeah, it's like, in the scientist outfit, it's probably one of the easiest sections of the European Extreme run. Without, it's challenging, but that was my mistake. I should have acknowledged that I went into the load zone with the box, which pushes me further into it because I'm in the box while walking up the stairs during the section you don't have control. My mistake, guys.
I'll forgive you one day.
But yeah, getting a Foxhound Tuxedo run, I'm the only person who's done it recorded. I've only done it 4 times, and I have attempted this run hundreds and hundreds of times, so it is really, really challenging. I hope to get some more, but
you're going to get one in GDQ.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right, so you'll notice that he has the stun grenades on now. It doesn't matter so much on this difficulty, but other difficulties it could. However, he is going to use those stun grenades in this fight. They are going to be very important. So what he's going to do is he's going to run to the eastern trap here and fake death pill right in front of it. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the fear run up to Snake. And that's nice. All right. It's going to make the fear run up to Snake. And he's going to revive at a particular moment. Perfect. And then throw the stun grenade. And the stun grenade will remove all of the fear's iframes and make all damage turn into stamina damage. And if you activate the traps will hit him. They do lethal damage, but because of the stun grenade, they do stamina damage, and they do a ton of it. So fast, because he has no iframes. And it just rinses his health. Just like that. There's a lot of variations of that strat. There's 2 traps you can... at least 3 traps, I think, where you can do that, but 2 are really good. You can use a machine gun like a lot of casuals do. You can almost knife him on European Extreme. You can get super close. There's a lot of ways to take him down like that.
Yeah, because I'm on New Game Plus, I could just use the Patriot, but I actually want to pick up a package of ammo, and doing the fight like that allows me to pick it up.
So Warehouse 2, what he's done there is he equipped the box to get the top level guard's attention, and then rolled off the railing on top of another guard, which knocks him out, of course, and then did what's called a box headshot on that second guard on the ground floor. And a box headshot is basically when you come out of the box and shoot, Snake's gun, for some reason, shoots just a tiny bit higher, like a couple of inches maybe higher. And that is just enough to get a headshot on a guard if you're lined up perfectly. Now, the thing about that is you have to be lined up perfectly because there is no auto-aim with box headshots. The auto-aim doesn't work at all, which compounds with the fact that Apache likes to do that in the Snake Eater camera, and he's the only one, I think, who does that. It makes it extremely challenging to aim the box headshot in that camera.
It makes you look like you're 10 times better at the game than you are as well, so that's the bonus of learning to play in the static camera. Just everything looks better in static, I feel.
I agree. This room's not too complicated. What he did there is he shot the wall, which gets that guard to run behind the tree where he conveniently can't see Snake. And then he did the grenade trick again to silence his footsteps. Now he just needs to eliminate these couple of guards at the end here, and he's home free. Now you're not going to grab the ammo here off this guy, are you? All right.
No, I've got it from the fear. I'm good.
That's right. That's why he grabbed the ammo in the fear. He used to grab ammo off of that guard there, which took quite a while. Wasn't it the second thing he dropped?
No, it's the first one. It's
okay.
The first thing, but it's just shaking him down. It takes like 7 seconds.
Yeah, it takes ages. Right, so the end. First thing he's going to do on the end is he's going to snipe him with his pistol. He needs to get 3 headshots here. He wants as much damage as he can get. That's not great damage, but it'll work. So he's done those 3 shots. Now he needs to kill time. He wants the end to teleport, but he can only do that 25 seconds after he runs away. So he's going to do 6 or 7 for safety. Punch, punch, kick buffers here. And that's going to take him almost exactly 25 seconds. So once he gets into position here, he's going to throw a smoke grenade towards the tree where he knows the end is going to go. And then he's going to make a loud noise by shooting his unsilenced gun. And that is the action that makes the end actually teleport. Because of his position in the map, he influenced where the end is going to go. And he knows exactly where that is. So he's just going to meet him there. Throw a stun grenade, which is going to do a little bit of stamina damage and also keep him from just shooting us. And then do some stamina damage here with a punch, punch, spray, punch, punch. Hold him up. And now we're going to loop him. This is what we call the hybrid loop. This is sort of a combination between the modern end loop that Go-Go Time discovered in May of 2020 with the old school loop of Sig spraying him, then throwing a grenade at him, and Sig spraying him again. And you can do that with 3 grenades, I think, until he gives up and actually runs away on you, which is what he's doing now. He knows exactly where the end is going to run away to, so he's going to meet him there. Oh, that was so good. Considering you didn't get really good damage at the beginning, that was almost a perfect kill. That was so good. So, because he didn't get the super high damage at the beginning, he did have to chase the end just a little bit. You'll notice he ran south a little bit, but that's not it's such a few seconds time. So that's all it is.
Yeah, once you knock him down after he's run north, you have to let him fully be rested on the ground before you run south. If you try running south too early, the end will run north. It's basically based on the position Snake's in when he's fully rested on the ground. So you have to be super careful because if he runs north, he's going to leave to a different load zone, and then you're just in big trouble. And Daze, I really appreciate you coming along to sing the Snake Eater theme song on the ladder.
Wait. Hold on. No, I don't think so.
Wait, no, is it Major? Are you going to sing it?
I thought that's what we agreed on. I don't know why you're changing the plans last minute. That's kind of rude, Apache.
Well, I thought the buffering thing was pretty interesting. I was thinking about that, and then you kind of put me on the spot there.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to. I thought about that like 4 rooms ago. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna say that.
I mean, if we had a real couch at SGDQ, then maybe.
So you would do it if you're live, but not over the comms. I understand. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I never get tired of this song. Like, there's quite a few songs in Metal Gear that I'm sick of hearing because I've heard them so many times, but never this one.
You know, it's funny because I'm the same way, but it's like this, like Snake Eater is great, but what's that song at the end of the game?
Way to Fall.
Way to
Star
Fall.
Sailor.
Star Sailor. All I know it as a Star Sailor because I can't stand it.
I used to like it. There was a time when I loved it, but
I still
I've
love
heard it
that
too
song.
many
I don't know what
times.
you're talking about.
The best is yet to come is definitely the best credits music.
As I get older, I'm starting to really appreciate Can't Say Goodbye to Yesterday, though. Like, it's like the cilantro for me of in credits music, where like my palate is maturing and I like it more.
Maybe one day when I grow big, I'll feel the same way. But but no, again, heard it too many times. All right, we got to the top of the ladder, so we reward Snake with a cheeky snack. We found a piece of moldy cave fruit, and that'll keep us satisfied until the end of the run now.
I still think you should have picked up the Yabloko Maloko, but that's just me.
You called it cheeky like it was Nando's.
Yeah, it was. It's for Snake, that moldy cave fruit is a cheeky Nando's. Alright, this is a free aiming section again. It's one of those, it's like, I'm timed here, I need to be in the other end of the room in a certain amount of time, otherwise I'm going to get caught. Free aiming sections are always difficult. If you miss a shot, like if I shot the wall there instead of the guard, the room would go into a caution state, and it would be possible to finish, obviously, but it would be a real nightmare. The fastest thing to do would be to just take a continue, but fortunately we didn't miss. It's a cool strat that Sparty showed me here. In a normal European Extreme run, you can just quick headshot, and you can just instantly headshot this guard by aiming. But because he sees you in the tuxedo, you have to go on your tiptoes to get him. I didn't realize that until Sparty told me about it, so thanks for that one, Sparty. Gotta pick up this ammo. We use a lot of ammo in Tuxedo compared to normal MGS3. And we're just using the box to get up this mountain as quickly as possible.
Yep,
It looks kind of dumb.
a little bit. For all of this, we would normally be wearing the animal's camouflage, which is by far the best camouflage in the game in the mountains, with the highest camo index, and the added ability of steadying your hands. But in this part, the camo index makes a big difference. But even in the last room, for example, even with the best camo in the game, we still had to do quite a few rolls just to not get an alert. So kind of gives you an idea of why he's doing some of the things that he's doing, taking out some of the guards that he has. He really needs everything he can get. He still doesn't grab the RPG because he's wrong.
I accept that it's faster, but I just don't like going in that little room. I always get stuck and stuff.
Yeah, it's
But
hard.
yeah, you can pick up the RPG early and save yourself a menu later, because the game, you obviously can't finish the game without the rocket launcher, so the game puts it into your inventory either way. Same with the SVD.
The SVD, however, it is definitely not faster to pick that up early.
It's kind of out the way.
A little bit.
It's another example of where I kill a guard, but I didn't kill a guard, according to the game. We're getting close to the Fury, I'm getting scared.
Oh no.
Just don't think about it. Let it surprise you.
So as I make my way down the mountain, you're going to see one of the only times I use the 3D camera. When people first start running this game, generally they just gravitate towards it. But this is one of the only places where I'll use it. It just makes it a little bit easier to do this parkour section of the run. So Snake's roll's kind of buggy. You can get up on all kinds of objects with it. There's even a way to like roll up the mountain later in Sikagoni that Appel found. So Snake's roll can be manipulated in quite a few places. All right, let's equip this sniper. This is the sniper we got from the end. So it's one of the main reasons we do a non-lethal end fight to get this gun, because it's so powerful against certain bosses. It only takes 8 shots to kill the Fury with it, and it's also really good versus the boss as well. So super important for the speedrun. You need to menu it before you start the fight, just in case you have any problems during the fight. You'll keep having to re-menu it. But here it is, the Fury. It did surprise me. I managed to surprise myself with it. We're going to use the box quite a lot. You can go over fire on the ground in the box, and it won't touch you.
Nice, a good spawn. So
No,
the Fury's
he's on the move.
Is he?
No, we might be okay.
No.
He's on the move still.
That is wild.
Wow,
Okay.
that was so weird, right?
Wow. Well, how fast was that? Was that faster? There's no way. There's no way.
I was shooting him and he was like, he just had iframes forever. That was such a weird fight.
Well, I mean, regardless, that was a perfect fight, even if it was a bit unorthodox. I didn't really get a chance to explain it. Where the Fury lands is mostly RNG. He did a little bit of manipulation to influence where he lands. You can influence a little bit, but not really determine exactly where he's going to go. After that, usually the goal is to let him shoot at you and then hide, at which point he would try to jump away, and you would do some Mosin damage on him in that time. And then let him shoot at you again and hide, and that's the loop. But what happened there is he shot once, that is, the Fury shot once, then Apache went in with his Mosin shots and just kept shooting him. It was weird. He kept running away until he ran out of iframes. Super strange fight.
Yeah, I've never seen him walk twice like that. It was so weird. And I was just desperately shooting him, waiting for his iframes to come off, because I thought he's going to notice me eventually and start firing back. When the Fury fires his flamethrower, he's completely invincible. So you're always trying to hit first. And also on European Extreme, he reacts faster than he does on lower difficulties. So from him seeing you to begin him firing, it's way faster on European Extreme.
Oh, yeah. So now he's capturing Rykov's outfit. What he did there is he threw a smoke grenade at the base of the stairs, and that's to keep the guard in the hallway from immediately alerting on Snake. And then he shot that guard in the hallway with the 1911 in the body. And the weird thing about that is that that guard and Rykov are basically telepathically linked. So whenever that guard goes into caution, so does Rykov. And Rykov tries to run to the nearest radio, which happens to be in the room that Apache was in just a minute ago when he was dragging Rykov. So he's just going to catch Rykov mid-walk, halfway there, and knock him out. Give him the old left-right good night, drag him out, and get his uniform. So now he's going to do a new glitch. This was discovered a few months ago, called Box Glide. He's going to do it again in the next room, so watch out. So how this works is you lean up against the wall, and it has to be a specific part of the wall, one of these with the window here. And with the binoculars on your previous, you would tap L2 while leaned up against the wall, which would equip the binoculars while you're still leaned against the wall. And you can look left or right and equip the box, and the box's collision intersects with the wall's collision, and it tries to push you out. And the only way it can push you is wherever the opposite direction of that you're looking, which happens to be where we want to go. It's a bit like the vertice jump glitch in Halo 2. If you land on the edge of two collision models or whatever, it would send you flying up in the air. It's a little bit like that, but to a lesser extent.
It's a cool one, and it's worth saying that it's so new, that glitch. Like, it's only a few 2-3 months old at this point, right? Like, it was found by Appel. He's still finding new stuff for this game. Amazing person, Appel. He's really broken this game in half.
Oh yeah, we haven't even told him about his real crowning achievement. So in Warehouse 2 on Very Easy, there's this thing where you can grab the railing in the wrong way. No, that's a joke. What he did is he discovered Food Zip. In MGS3, if you equip food and weapons in a very specific order, you can actually zip Snake from one end of any map to the other, and it is crazy the applications that you can do with that. You can zip, for example, in the cave, you can zip straight from the beginning of the cave right to the end, and that saves like what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Huge time save there. You can zip in Mountains 2. You can zip in Mountains 3. You can zip all the way to the end of Mountains 3 right from the beginning. So it saves you all of that traversal up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, once he cracks the code on how to do it in single segment runs, this game's going to look ridiculous.
Yeah, that is why we don't do it in single segment. It's very strange. Relies on, we think, an empty inventory, which you never get normally in single segment. So you can only do it once at the beginning, and that's it.
Yeah, it absolutely smashes the game to pieces. You can only do it once, and then you have to hard reset the game before you can do it again. So, but who knows what'll happen with it next? This is an unskippable cutscene, by the way. We're being tortured. We've lost an eye, and now we've got to get out. We've got to get out of this cell. The best way to break out of jail, as we all know, is to pick up a fork, kick a rat to death, and then go into your inventory and spin around 10 times. So what
Yeah,
we're going to
this
do is
gives us the revolver.
When I spin them around, I like to like move them around in the menu too.
Oh yeah.
Like a ballerina.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I always do extra spins because I
There
forget
it
how
is.
many I've done. Oh yeah, so now we'll throw up. This is going to make Johnny open the cell door. And then we're going to give him the left, right, left, good night, as Major likes to say. We killed that rat on purpose. We need a throwable item, and we also need these smoke grenades that Johnny drops as well. Now, this next trick is frame perfect, so it's really, really tricky. You get caught here all the time, but we're going to throw the rat and then equip the smoke grenades.
We shared the good conscience to throw up in the toilet.
I kicked a rat to death and then threw up on it. There's not many speedruns you can say that in, I feel. Okay. This room's not particularly difficult, it just holds left. But the one after is super challenging. We have to throw some smoke grenades perfectly, otherwise the guard's gonna catch us.
Yep. There's going to be 2 guards and a guard dog, exactly in Apache's way. So he's going to run to a specific point and then throw a smoke grenade at a specific angle to land at the perfect distance between him and the guard that is just on the right there behind the wall who you can't see yet. It needs to be in such a place that the guard on the right is encompassed inside of the smoke grenade, but it's still in between you and the left guard. So that way neither of them will alert on you. Because when guards are inside of smoke grenades, they kind of go a little bit stupid. They can't hear or see anything. So that was really good. That was really good. He also threw, of course, another smoke grenade to get the dog out of the picture. So that used to be a really, like, even more of a challenging room than it already is. People used to do some crazy grenade throws. They used to use, like, the position of the sun and the moon to calculate where they needed to throw the stun grenade, and then the smoke grenade, and then they acted like they were trying to throw it into low Earth orbit or something like that, when in reality, you just need to aim up a little bit. It's not... You don't need to aim up that high.
That description you gave, you were literally talking about me. That's what I did. But yeah, you just have to aim slightly up. It was hilarious. Like when you watch old runs of this game, like from some of us, what we used to do with that smoke grenade trying to get through that room was ridiculous. It's surprising it ever worked.
Yeah, really. So you'll notice at the beginning of this sewer section here, he dropped off the railing from the very top and did some damage to himself. That's going to actually matter when he gets to the Sorrow fight, because he's going to go into the fight with less health, which means he'll die quicker. Which matters for RTA. This game has a very weird thing with the Sorrow. So the tip on the board right now, we go by IGT. So the Sorrow doesn't count towards IGT. The way it works, the game looks at the frame count at a particular frame just before the fight starts, and at the end of the fight, the game resets the frame count to what it was before you did the fight, before you started the fight. So effectively, that means that the Sorrow doesn't count towards IGT. We didn't know that for years. We were doing all these crazy strats with handkerchiefs on other difficulties. Turns out, it's not faster.
Yeah, it does lend credence to using the load remover instead of instead of using the IGT, since the IGT isn't accurate.
Yeah, there is a advancement that we're working on right now called, well, I mean, load eater, I think is what Appel has dubbed it. It's a load remover for consoles. It looks at black screens, basically, and a few of the screen elements to make sure we don't get false positives, to determine when the game is and is not loading, and determines a load list time based off that. It's real nice. We're hoping to switch to board to it eventually.
One day in the future. For some reason, the Japanese version of the game equips your revolver at the start of the Zoro fight, and it doesn't matter. It's just like, why? Why does it do that? I've never been able to work out why. It's just a weird quirk. I think Tikagoni is the most beautiful and unused area in Metal Gear Solid 3. Like this area just looks like 10 times better than everywhere else in the whole game.
Well, you better get familiar with it because you're probably going to be picking up Kabuki here and you're all camos around at ESA.
Oh yeah, true. I got accepted for ESA, guys. I'm going to be doing European Extreme all camos, so get all the camos and face paints. That'll be fun. And yeah, you do have to pick up Kabuki there.
So welcome to the longest loading screen in the game. It's 25 seconds on a good console.
Having a good console must be nice.
What PS3 are you running this on?
It's a super slim with an SSD, which is what you're supposed to use. But for some reason, mine just sucks. It just doesn't do as well as everyone else's. It's a little bit slower. Yeah, and the all camos run as well. We only count camos that we get inside of the run. But I like to go for Foxhound as well, which gives you the infinity face paint. So now we're going to put the tuxedo back on. I waited again until I was at the end of the room where we pick up the second box of the run. The most important box, biggest time saver box. It's going to allow us to teleport straight into the hangar where the Shagohod is. So it's a good little trick to be aware of. Box B, super important. Once you go up this ladder as well, you can't return. So you got to get it there. Alright, these guards out here are some of the best in the business, so I have to be really careful here to not get caught. What I'm going to do is equip the box, and none of them can see me. So for some reason in this game, when the guards are going for a downed guard, like a sleeping guard, they tunnel vision to them, and if you wear the cardboard box, they just won't notice you. I did it earlier in the run as well in the lab. It's the same interaction, but it's just because they're staring straight at the guard, they won't notice Snake if he's in the box. If you just run past, they'll see you, but not with the box on. This is the hangar is one of the few examples of rooms in the game that's actually easier on European Extreme than it is on Very Easy. So if you're doing this room on Very Easy, it's harder than it is on Euro, as long as you do this strategy. So we shoot the gas canisters with a non-lethal round, and it makes all the guards in the room run away. On the lower difficulties, they can't hear that shot, so the strat doesn't work. So you still have to deal with all the guards. Obviously, if you get an alert in this room, it's a game over if you've planted bombs. And you also can't progress or plant any more explosives while the alert's going on. But on Euro, we just have that strat, so it's nice and easy. Alright, Volgin 1. We normally use CQC to fight Volgin 1. In the Tuxedo, you can't use CQC. It doesn't let you. It's not a restriction that we put on ourselves. So I do have to do extra things to kind of manipulate his attacks to be able to take him out. That was a really bad roll. After the first 4 shots, he'll always gloat. Now I'm going to move a certain range away from him and face him. This is the attack I want. And then phase 2 is just the same. As long as you manipulate him like that and don't get hit, because Volgin does so much damage on Euro, it's really easy to die in this fight.
It's also really easy to run out of ammo. If you spray too much, you won't have enough ammo to finish the fight. You'll notice he ended with only 4 shots left. It's really easy to blow 4 shots in that fight. But thankfully, you do have a few other weapons to back up to, especially if you didn't unequip the 1911 before.
Yeah, I always do my menu before the ladder to make the game re-equip me with the M1911, and I always have it in that same place in my menu. That's all on purpose, just in case I ever need it for a backup. I'm going to turn my game down a little bit just because this section's so loud.
Yeah, so this is the infamous bike chase. This part's not so hard, but this is an opportunity for you to do quite a lot of damage on the Shagohod. You can do roughly 1/8 of damage on the Shagohod in just this room. But the upcoming rooms can be pretty tricky. There's going to be some RPG guards to deal with, and they can be unfun.
You may notice I only had 2 guards there out of you normally have 5, but I was hitting the Shagohod so much that I lagged the game out, which prevented extra guards from spawning. In a normal Euro run, you wouldn't do that because you wouldn't want to lag the game and make it slower. But in Tuxedo, you're going to get hit a lot more, so you want to have the most health possible.
Yeah, that's a weird mechanic that MGS3 has. If the game's frame rate is too low, it assumes that it couldn't handle spawning any more guards, so it just doesn't. Because guards are actually quite resource intensive in this game. So you can actually do that in quite a few rooms in Bike Chase, but it's not really useful in any of them. Generally, except it is a Tuxedo, but that's about it.
So, another dumb question. On the all camo run, you have to get the Keratin frog during this section. Oh shit! Yeah.
Finally got the cutscene glitch. Yeah, not in all camos, because Keratan's is separate from all camos. You still have to get the Gakko cam, obviously, but that's right at the start of the game. So you don't do the Keratans during all camos. Although I hope to one day in the future do a 100% run of the game where I would get all the camos and the weapons and everything. But maybe in the future.
Sorry to cut you off mid-question there.
Oh yeah, no, that kind of freaked me out too. I was like...
I've been trying for so long to get that in a run. Like I always go for it. If you basically have to hit the Shagohod on the same frame that the cutscene starts. It's just like a random chance. It doesn't save any time or anything. It just plays the cutscene from a weird angle and looks kind of cool. But I've been trying to get it for so long, and I finally got it in a run. Took way too much damage there. Should try and get this guy with the Mosin.
Yep, so there are, I think, 3 RPG guards in this room, and this is one of them. All of the RPG guards can hit you, however, some are more likely than others. In this section here, he needs to take out all of these guards right now, otherwise they'll come as a second wave in just a minute, and Evo will sit there waiting for you to take out that wave of guards until you do. So, definitely want to take him out before Eva stops the bike. And it looks like he has. Good. So there's one more RPG guard here on the roof. This is the second most lethal in the room. He definitely wants to get that guy out, and he has. Very nice. The rest of these guards are unimportant. They're just damage control. You don't want to take damage from them, but Eva's not going to stop waiting for you to kill him. And now there's one more RPG guard in this room at the very end. Just there on the second floor of that platform.
Damn it.
If that guy... Oh! That's what happens if he hits you. So you'll notice how low his health is going into the runway. The runway, it's not the highest risk room in Bike Chase, but it's definitely not fun to go into with low health, because there's you're going to shoot the gunners off the bikes, and just the gunners, but the drivers can still shoot you, and it's not as often, and they don't do as much damage, but there's 4 of them, and they can pile it on. At this kind of health, you can definitely die, or, well, in this case, use life med.
I guess we'll find out.
I have faith.
It's like we don't know exactly. Every single time you do the runway, you'll take a different amount of damage from these guards. So I don't know whether they're going to have enough to kill me. These drivers aren't aggressive as the ones in Bike Chase 2. So the drivers hit you less often, but these on the runway here especially hit you less often. On Bike Chase 2, they're so aggressive. In Tuxedo, to keep the highest health possible, we just constantly take the drivers and the gunners out in that Bike Chase 2 section.
So you'll notice that he's looking down. That is to preserve the frame rate. So, like I mentioned before, when the frame rate's low, the game slows down, and the game's in-game timer continues ticking in real time, which means that you're making less progress in the same amount of time. So you want to try and keep the frame rate as high as possible by looking up or down in Bike Chase.
Fun fact, that's one of the only discoveries I've made for this game.
Well, it's a big one.
Gotta get that one in.
It saves 25 seconds.
Something that I didn't really consider or see someone doing as often, but Blackie, when he did his New Game Plus run, he used the Cold War camo so he could look down the whole time, and I never really considered like how much of a time save that would actually be. So that was really impressive to see people finding just ways of doing it in a European extreme run to save as much time as possible.
Right, like
Yeah, smarty.
iterating off of it.
It's a collaborative effort, right? You find something, people make it better, everyone's times go down.
For sure.
It does that frame rate save does remind me of like an MGO2, like hiding in a corner to save frame rate while playing.
I got the I didn't know about that because I never played MGO2. I've watched a lot of it played. It's a cool game, but I just guess I missed the boat on that one. But I actually got the idea from GoldenEye to look down during this runway section. There is a level in GoldenEye called Cold Runway as well, where they look down the entire time to keep the frame rate higher.
Nice.
That was some pretty good damage on the Shagohod. So
it
on the
feels
runway,
like... Sorry, mate. Yeah, you go.
okay, on the runway, you can do 1/3 of the Shagohod's total health and damage. That's the damage cap, and he got pretty close to it.
It's
Obviously,
one
all
of those where when you're fighting him, you'll get it where you hit it with a rocket and then it's got like 1 pixel of health left and you have to do like another cycle. That's such a standard Shagohod thing to happen.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think if you get the damage cap, you always get like a pixel. I think that's what happens.
The game just loves us like that.
Yeah.
I like that casual no scope shot at the end.
It's it's on purpose, like so I can look at where the Shagohod is, so I can hit it. Like as soon as the Shagohod crosses the threshold where I can shoot the C3, it's just easier to see if you're in third person. So it is swaggy, but it's also like on purpose as well.
Swaggy,
Like,
practical.
yeah, practical swag. That's what we're all about. I've messed this fight up. Eva's doing weird stuff.
That is not swag.
Normally you would loop the Shagohod, but the loop has gone wrong. So what he tried to do there at the beginning is he buffered his first RPG shot on the Shagohod's treads, trying to shoot it at a particular time. Unfortunately, he timed it just a little bit wrong, so the Shagohod never got stunned at the right time. And that's why he's having to do this whole rigmarole of shooting the treads and shooting the back and hoping to get lucky. The way the ideal Shagohod loop works is you would do that precise shot, and the Shagohod would just sit there until Eva spins around the back. You would shoot the weak spot, then shoot the treads, and the iframes would be perfectly coordinated so that the iframes for one would run out right when the iframes for the other starts. So basically, you could shoot the treads and the weak spot, and they would just stay there forever. Unfortunately, the fight's gone a little bit wrong, and the only real backup for this is to just fight him casually. Just shoot the treads whenever you can, hoping to get stunned in a way that's favorable to you, and then try to hit the weak spot as much as you can. Eva is also RNG. I'm gonna call it RNG. I'm gonna call it RNG.
Yeah.
He's not very good.
When you manipulate the fight by even attempting the loop, that makes Eva's behavior much more weird than it would be normally. It's the best way I can describe it.
And that's just the first example of Eva being RNG, right?
Yeah, she can ruin your entire life later in the game. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Had to go for it just because like the Shagohod is already a mess, so I was like, I gotta get something out of this. All right, I'm gonna take out these guards constantly. I don't want any shots from them.
Yeah, this is when bike chase really starts to become a problem. These are some really dangerous guards coming up here, especially in the next room. So a little known mechanic in MGS3 is that your camo index actually influences the guard's accuracy. The higher your camo index is, the less accurate guards will be when they shoot at you, which makes a big difference in bike chase, especially bike chase 2, and especially on Tuxedo, because your camo index is going to be so much lower than it ever would be in a regular run. So these guards are laser accurate, basically.
Yeah, it's actually something you told me. I didn't know about that, but once I knew that fact, it made a lot of sense why bike chase felt so much harder on Tuxedo. Like it's really difficult. We were always aiming to do it without using a life med. Once you use a life med, you no longer have the rank 1. You know, we've lost that already, but I still want to try and get it.
Playing by the rules, rank 1 rules.
Yeah, I respect that.
I was never really a rank 1 gamer until I got into Tuxedo, and then it became super interesting to me. Like, I just got to concentrate while I get these cards. Like, trying to no-scope them all. Yeah, I was never really into rank 1. I was like, why'd you care about rank 1? It's a speedrun. I just want to go as fast as possible. If that means I have to kill every guard, I'll kill every guard. But once I started doing Tuxedo, I became super interested in the idea of getting rank 1.
So there's a guard here.
It's the icing on the cake, I guess.
Nice, you got him. There's a guard there in that truck who has an RPG. You really don't want him to hit you because you're going. It's right at the end of the room, so you're gonna go. There's no chance of you know, basically saving it. If you're low on health, you're dead for sure. And you're gonna go into this room right here, which is by far the hardest room in all of bike chase with really low health, and especially on Tuxedo, that makes a huge difference because you cannot take. You really can't risk it. You just can't. So this room is so hard because these flying oh my god, I can't talk. Flying platform guys, they're fast, they're agile, they're accurate, they shoot quickly, they do loads of damage, and they don't go down instantly when you shoot them. Like, they don't have 1 stamina. Additionally, when they land, they have a chance of crashing in front of you, and they can light you on fire. Fire damage is some of the highest DPS stuff in all of MGS3, and that'll absolutely rinse your health. So if that happens, there's a very
It was above me.
It's a very high probability that you're not going to come out of that very well. And another thing they can do is what's happening right now to Apache. The middle guard on the flying platform can park himself right above the motorcycle. He can hit you all day, but you can't hit him. And the icing on the cake, it lags the game like crazy. For some reason, the searchlight on these guys' flying platforms, it's so resource intensive, and it just brings the frame rate right down. So all he can really do right now is look down and reduce lag, hoping that this flying platform guard either backs off or goes up ahead so that he can shoot him. And so far, he's getting super unlucky. This guy just is not going anywhere. At least his damage isn't so bad.
Once you get the log, he does back off. Like, no matter where he is, he'll always back off at that point. But you still need to take these guys out if you can. Because for some reason, after the log, all 3 guards just have amazing ability to hit you from so far away. Like, you take so much damage in all of that bit after the log. But this health that I'm on now, it doesn't look really good, but it actually is really good. Like, I'm pretty much guaranteed to survive this next section without using a life med. It's 50-50 on shooting well and also getting lucky. Like, the platform section is if you're going for the highest rank, it's the hardest section by miles.
Absolutely. To put it into context, in my regular European extreme speedruns, where I can use any camo I want, I don't even do this in, like, Tiger Stripe. I put on OSCAM, which makes me take 33% less damage. It's that bad. Even in regular speedruns, I forfeit 7 seconds to put that camo on. It's that bad.
Yeah, it's so worth it. And plus, if you're taking less damage, you can look down more as well. So it won't even out, but you do get some of that back. And you have to menu anyway, so OSCAM, really good. But this last section is like it's like a cakewalk compared to that flying platform guard section.
Yeah,
I will have my cam on for GDQ, and you'll be able to see how much I sweat during that section and how nervous I get. Like, it isn't obvious. just through my talking, but it's a really stressful section of the game.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the flying platform room is the worst room in the game. Just, it's poorly designed. I don't really know who thought it was a good idea.
I mean, the middle guard being impossible to shoot once he's above you, and the searchlight as well. It's too much. I just like being able to catch fire during that section. I'm sure like that wasn't on purpose. But you know, bit of RNG. Do your worst, game.
Here we go.
Okay. We're going to feed Eva now. If we feed Eva now, saves the menu later. We have to cure her anyway. And for some reason, in this first room with Eva, you don't have to walk her anywhere. And she also won't take damage from Snake. So I normally CQC her, but I can't because I'm in the Tuxedo. So I'll just knock her down. She doesn't take any damage, but once we're in the next room, she does. From Snake, I mean. But much like Emma in MGS2, we can just leave her for the first room. And she'll appear next to us after the cutscene.
So from my understanding, to summarize this, you trade her ramen and then hope she walks around a tree how you want her to walk around a tree.
Yeah, she's been taking that trade and then not fulfilling her part for a long time. But yeah, she never goes left of this tree. It's a bit of a meme. I mean, Major now takes a better line where you don't even have to get her to go left of the tree, but I still like to try and make her go that way. We've got plenty of time. There is like a unit of guard. Oh my god, she really didn't go left of the tree today.
Wow.
And now she's trying to like walk into the tree.
She's
You
like,
know, I think
you guys think I'm a fool? No, sorry, go ahead.
I think it is possible for her to go left of the tree. We have it on video. Surely someone's done it.
One in 1 million chance. But yeah, there's guards coming from the north. But as long as we get Eva moving straight away, they're never an issue. So this room's not too bad, but the next room is really bad. I once lost Foxhound in this next room, so it's always a heartbreaker for me. Because the Tuxedo camo is so bad, the guard who's walking towards us at the start of the room, if we take one step forward, he sees us straight away. So I can't move at all at the start of this room. I just have to wait for a guard on the left to turn around and this guard to begin walking forward. What I'll do here is I'll let that guard walk forward, then shoot him in the back, which makes him turn around. So the trick that Major taught me is if you shoot the guards, when you're at a good distance, they'll completely stop in place and turn around. The guards are much easier to hit in the head when they're facing towards you. It's a little bit more difficult from the back. Oh, I want the other one. There we go. So don't try and hit them in the head from the back, basically, or you will lose Foxhound in a marathon.
It's really weird. You'll hit them in the neck or like the hood, and you just won't take them out. Kind of unfortunate.
These free aiming shooting sections, again, the same rules apply. If you're close to a guard going for a headshot and you hit him in the body, he will just turn and look at you. Instant game over. Same with if you shoot the wall. When they're in caution, if you shoot the wall, they're all kind of linked, and they'll all start running around, which is really inconvenient for you. We just kick that to make this guard turn around. Can headshot him, and I want to take out this guard, and then this guard. Oh crap! I missed. I was trying to hit that second guard before he moved because he'll run away and then he'll go back to his position. So I can save a little bit of time if I get him sooner. Okay, Eva. She didn't walk away. There is not a glitch, I guess a bug. When we jump off that mountain, Eva can just turn around and walk back to the start of the level. We haven't seen it in a while, but we always live in fear of it because it loses about 3 minutes.
It's happened to me back to back.
Oof.
Yeah, two in a row.
Yeah, in the same run. I go and pick her up, and she does it twice.
I lost the very easy world record to it once, but I haven't seen it since, and hopefully I'll never see it again.
Yeah, it hasn't been happening lately. I think it's just because we were taking slightly inconsistent lines. As long as you do the same thing every time, you know, you're pretty safe.
All right, final boss of the game, the boss. We need that Mosin Nagant for her, but we can't use CQC, so we have to do a slightly longer fight, a little bit more technical. She's going to rush us a few more times than she would in a normal fight. We just punch her to knock her to the ground. We're going to loop her on the ground with stun grenades. I'm not sure I hit her there. Yeah, no, I missed. I missed one of them, so it's going to be an even longer fight. The first time we let her get back up, as long as we turn and face her, she'll always run straight towards us. She won't do this on the next few. So we can't use that trick again. So after I've hit her there, I'm going to hide behind this tree. When she gets up, she'll start blasting us with the Patriot. If she doesn't get any shots in, she'll run away sooner. So if you're not perfectly hidden, if she hits you and damages you, she'll stay longer. So you want to make sure she can't hit you with like the first blast. And I'm out of Mosin, but I have got a Mark 22, but I'm just doing the same again. Oh, here we go. When she rushes you, if you buy a tree, it can really mess with the game, so you've got to be careful. But yeah, that was it. Time's coming up a little bit later. It's at the after the gunshot and the Ocelot fight. But we did okay, I think, right? One continue. What a fool I was to equip that box.
That's all it was. That's all it took. And that's all it takes in MGS and European Extreme here. One slight mistake, and it's all over. And there were so many instances of that in the run. So many that we literally could not talk about them all in the span of one run. So we just had to omit almost all of them because we had more important things to explain. But there's so many places where you can just easily lose Foxhound here.
Yeah, it's like a battle of concentration. Like, you can't let your concentration slip once in the run because you're always like one step away from a continue, one missed shot, walk too far into a room, you know, etc. It's a tough run, but it's a run that I love quite a lot. I enjoy doing Tuxedo European Extreme. I'm very excited to be doing it at GDQ. It'll be my first time ever in GDQ. I really appreciate you coming along doing commentary with me. Thank you so much, Days. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Always. And Major Zero, always appreciate you, bro.
My pleasure.
Excuse me while I kill the boss. I'm sorry, Laurie.
This is what you drank your coffee for an hour ago.
We always pick the left revolver, slightly faster. And on the 6th shot, it will be time. That's time.
GG.
Shout out MGSR. Great community. I'm gonna go to. I was gonna say I'm gonna go to bed, but I'm not because I'm hosting the other runs. And next up, we do have Pythonicus running Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. And he's going for the Tsuchinoko. I didn't get Foxhound, so he has to get Tsuchinoko now. That's the way it works. But I really hope you enjoy that. And I'll be hosting for the rest of the night. Take it away, House.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome back again from my side. What an awesome run. That was ApacheSmash here with Metal Gear Solid 3 European Extreme in the Tuxedo. I'm hoping we can see it again with Foxhound then soon. I think July 6th is your run at GDQ, right?
Yeah, July 6th if you're American, July 7th if you're from Europe. It's at 1 AM.
Exactly. And of course, thanks to you again for commentating Days Ahead at Major Zero. Fantastic run to watch. Alright, and then I would say we are getting ready. Short break. I'm out for tonight. My name is Houses, and of course, again, I'm leaving it over to Apache to host the rest for you. Don't go anywhere. There's 3 more runs to come.